Officer Daniel Reed didn't sleep that night. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the warehouse. He heard the gunshots echoing in the darkness. He saw the shadows twisting into monstrous shapes. And he heard Ethan screaming, a sound that would haunt him forever. Reed knew the Raven would come again. That's what he did. He always came back to finish what he started, to tie up any loose ends. And little Ethan was the last loose end. The department moved Ethan to a new safe house, a more secure location on the very edge of the city. It was a small, quiet place, almost swallowed by the tall, ancient trees that surrounded it and the long, empty roads that led to nowhere. It was supposed to be invisible. Reed stayed with him. He flat out refused to let the boy be alone, not after what he'd been through. The kid was the only thing that mattered now. Ethan barely spoke. He was like a ghost in the house. He would just sit by the window for hours, staring out at the rustling leaves, clutching a small toy car in his hand, a little red sports car. It was the only thing he had left from his family, a final, tangible piece of a life that had been stolen from him. The silence in the house was heavy, filled with unspoken grief and fear. One evening, as the sun bled out across the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple, Reed sat down beside him. He kept his voice soft, gentle. "You did nothing wrong, Ethan," he said. "None of this is your fault." Ethan didn't look up. He didn't move a muscle, but in the fading light, Reed saw it. A single, tiny tear escaped and traced a path down the boy's dusty cheek. It was the first real emotion he'd shown in days. Suddenly, a loud thump from outside shattered the quiet. Reed was on his feet in an instant, his heart pounding against his ribs. He peered cautiously through the window. A drone was hovering near the house, its red light blinking like a malevolent eye, and attached to it, a camera, its lens pointed directly at them. "The Raven," Red muttered, his voice a low growl. He grabbed Ethan, pulling him away from the window and into the relative safety of the hallway. As soon as they were out of sight, the drone whirred and flew away, disappearing back into the darkening trees. Someone was watching them. Someone had found them. The invisible house wasn't invisible anymore. Reed whipped out his phone, his fingers flying across the screen. He called Detective Maria Alvarez. His voice was tight, urgent. "We need to move. Now. He's found us." Within minutes, the quiet road erupted in a flurry of activity. Black SUVs, marked police cars, and a team of heavily armed officers descended upon the safe house, their flashing lights cutting through the twilight. But as they prepared for extraction, an eerie silence fell over the forest. It was too quiet. Too still. The birds had stopped singing. The insects had gone silent. Reed's stomach twisted into a knot. He knew what that unnatural silence meant. They weren't just being watched anymore. They were already here. A branch snapped nearby. Then, another. The sound of soft, deliberate footsteps crunched on the leaves in the dark. The Raven's men were surrounding them, closing the net. Reed took a deep, steadying breath and knelt in front of the boy. "Stay behind me, Ethan," he said, his eyes locking with the child's terrified gaze. "No matter what happens, you stay right behind me." And then, the night exploded. Gunfire erupted from all sides. A chaotic symphony of violence. Officers scrambled for cover behind their vehicles, returning fire into the darkness. Bullets ripped through the thin walls of the safe house, sending splinters of wood flying through the air. Shouts and commands filled the air, lost in the deafening roar of the firefight. Red shielded Ethan with his own body, pulling him through the chaos towards a running police car. He shoved the boy into the back seat and dove in after him. "Drive!" he screamed at the officer behind the wheel. "Go, go, go." The tires squealed, tearing up dirt and gravel as the car shot forward, fishtailing onto the dark, empty road and accelerating into the night. For a moment, Reed thought they had made it. For a moment, there was a flicker of hope. Then he glanced in the rearview mirror and his blood ran cold. Something terrifying was emerging from the chaos behind them. A second car, sleek and black, was chasing them. Its headlights blazed, cutting through the darkness like a predator's eyes. It was closing the distance with terrifying speed. The Raven was done sending his men. He was done playing games from the shadows. This time, he was coming himself. To be continued.